Yo, what is good, everybody? This is Joey from Hard Pirates TCG here, and what I have for you today is some advice on how to win one of these guys right here. This Captain Kid, which is actually, from what I didn't realize, a pseudo 8-cost kid, so it's actually pretty good. And let me tell you, do not play Rainbow Luffy. Do not play Rainbow Luffy. I'm going to be showing you guys my deck and the strategy behind it. And I'm going to give you some tips and tricks and some key cards to look for in this matchup. And the main reason that I do not suggest to play Rainbow Luffy is because it is literally pretty much only there for the trigger. It is like, I'm telling you, like, the only reason I played it is I had a bunch of eggheads, and I was like, if I trigger it, this is busted, and I can play a bunch of bodies for free against a format where you realistically just beat each other up for, like, 6 or 7 turns until someone dies. So when I was playing it, the first 2 games I triggered into shit with the egghead, I was like, oh my god, bro, this is so insane, bro. Rainbow Luffy's so busted. And then, like, you realize when you're not triggering into eggheads, you're like, yo, like, I don't have a leader effect. I do not have a leader effect, and that is not good. Because I went against 2 Bonnies where they were just, like, resting my shit constantly. And I was like, yo, like, they have a leader effect and I don't. And somehow I beat both the Bonnies, but I probably shouldn't have beat either of them because they both misplayed like multiple times and basically just gave me the free win, bro. It was like that Plankton meme. They were like, now hand it to him. And then SpongeBob was like, here you go. No, I'm telling you, like, seriously, it is. I probably should have went like 0-4 though, straight up. Like, we are 1-4 because we played 5 rounds. My locals, we had like 80 something people there for our pre-release, so we had 2 pods of like 40, I think, like 42, and top 8 all got one of the winner cards. So I went 4-1. I lost to a Zoro, and that was about it. And I played 2 Bonnies, 1 Yamato, and an Enel. And anyway, I won that. But without further ado, let me go ahead and talk to you guys about the deck that I'm playing and things to avoid with just like pre-release in general. All right, let's talk about these events, because these events are actually fucking cracked, bro. You got the slow beam. I only got 2 of these, but this is like one of the best events, guys, because it's a plus 2000 Dawn -1 2-cost event, but then it rests any one of your opponent's characters, which is fucking crazy. It came in clutch like my last game. This card's really good too, Snake Dance. This came in clutch against the Yamato just because they couldn't just like attack into you for like 9 or 10k like all willy-nilly. And then you have a chance to bounce something back, which is actually really good. So like a lot of times I would use it and I'd bounce back this Corinne right here, and this Corinne is actually pretty cracked too. So yeah, I only played 4 events, but then the Corinne was crazy. It's a blocker on play, minus 2000 power to something. So it was just really good, like fighting for board. Like on top of this card right here, this card's insane in Law too. I'm surprised this guy's not played in Law. This Outlook guy right here. Let me go ahead and zoom in just a little bit. But yeah, so this Outlook right here basically is he's a activate main, trash him, and then give 2 characters minus 2000 power for the turn. So like, especially in this format right here where you're just trying to fight for board control pretty much most of the game, this card's absolutely insane because you wait for like a 7, 8, or 9 Dawn turn where like they turn 2 characters sideways, and then you can play this basically like with the characters being minus 2000 power, you can basically wipe 2 of them off the board. Then you can follow it up with like a 5-7 vanilla or like a 5-6 vanilla or something like that, and like still have Dawn for like your leader effect, especially if you're Bonney. So these 2 cards were absolutely cracked, and these are like one of the like few cards that helped me like win almost the majority of my games. They're both 1-ofs, and I saw them pretty much almost every game, but they're super heavily impactful. So if you pull these, like you should put as many of them in your deck. They're absolutely crazy, bro. This card sucks. Is just the least shitty card I had of my 40, so it was the worst option. But this card did win me a game because I just kept putting Dawn on him against a Bonney and swinging into him for like 6 or 7, because it was like a gorilla game. It was like one of those like you gotta win ugly games, and him and Big News Morgan, bro, I was just swinging with them for like 5 or 6 or 7k, and shit was lit. But don't play that card if you have like any other options. This card is actually good if you go second because it just ramps you a Dawn. So like this is only if your leader effect is this is only if you have what is it, Foxy Pirates? Yeah, if your leader is Foxy Pirates, you trash them and then you like basically gain a Dawn rested. So it was good for Rainbow Luffy because basically at your 2 on turn, you go to 5 next turn. And I have a bunch of 5s in this deck, so like I chose to go second to try to find this guy, but and sometimes I did, which and it worked out really well, but later he's just a dead card. And then for the 2 drops, we're playing a Big News Morgan and this little blocker right here. Guys, I literally went for a game against this dude, against someone with Big News Morgan, looked at their hand, they had like a 2k, a 1k, and like some event that like it was good, but like it wasn't as helpful as something else, like a 4k counter or a 6k counter. And then he drew a 6k counter off the Big News Morgan draw and was able to win the game. That's my only loss. And I was like, bro, like maybe y'all are right. Maybe Big News Morgan does suck. So yeah, I'm not a believer in Big News Morgan after seeing that. So yeah. And I played one of the kids and then one of this Fuza right here, which this card put in work against the Zoro. I'm not going to cap. It popped like 2 different things. But I still ended up losing anyway. But the kid is literally like a pseudo kid wall. So like you can literally just hide behind it, especially with like some blockers. I didn't really pull a whole lot of blockers though, but I did my best to like kind of hide behind it when I saw it. But I only saw this like 1 game and it kind of just died instantly to the Yamato dragon combo, which is kind of gross. But yeah, so those cards are decent. And then vanillas are always good. I played a Weevil just as like a classic 4 body. And then a Rouge is like a classic 4 body. This card's good with like your events, even though I didn't play a whole lot of events. And then I played Ace. One of my pulls was actually this Bonney right here, which is nice. These 2 cards, this card was really good throughout the whole day. And then this card, I played it once and it was okay. I kept drawing this like way after it actually mattered. And then this card is absolutely cracked for pre-release, guys. This Lucci card right here. So what it does is the only problem is meeting the condition to get 3 cards in the trash, funny enough, because you want to take life early on. And what it does is it puts 3 cards from the bottom of your trash to the bottom of your deck, and your opponent discards a card. So like if you find a way to like loop it in the end game, you just like basically bounce it back with like the Snake Princess, and then you play it again and just keep making discard cards. It's okay. Like that's an okay combo. Someone told me at the pre-release that they did it like multiple times, and I was like, I mean, I could see that, don't get me wrong, but like, wouldn't you rather just have the body on the board so you don't have to keep playing him? Like, because like the once swinging for 7k would just be like better because it takes 2 cards out of their hand. So I don't know. It just it could come up, I guess. By the way, if you guys like this playmat, check out moonlighttcg.com for to get it. It is now 18% off for the next like week, and I'd hope you guys get one. And then the most broken card of the entire pre-release, guys, is fucking Ein, dog. She is crazy. So on play, she minuses anything's power to 0. So that could be like 10 cost Ace. That could be this Basil Hawkins right here. That could be Boa Hancock. That could be Dragon. That could be literally anything, bro. And you just minus it to 0 and you swing over it with like a Big News Morgan. You swing over it with like a Stary. You swing over with anything, bro. It's absolutely ridiculously cracked. And this card won me against Yamato. This card helped me win like another game. It wasn't like the sole reason, but it definitely helped. And anytime you have this card in your hand, I would probably not mulligan that hand because this card just changes the game. It changes the game. Like basically being able to take out their biggest character for literally nothing is crazy. Hawkins was really good against Yamato. I played against the Yamato. This card's insane too, bro. Monkey D. Luffy. So it's literally... So if your opponent has 3 or more characters, you can Don -3 and then restand him. So you can swing like, you can drop this down and you can swing like 11-11 and like put a lot of pressure on them and be like, especially if you're playing Bonney, like anytime they have a blocker, you just say, okay, rest it. And you better be able to kill this fucking Luffy, because if not, I'm swinging 11-11 next turn as well. And that card's absolutely insane. I almost lost to a Bonney because of it. It was just really, really, really good. And then I played 1 Scratchman of Pooh because it's just a 6/8 vanilla. So... hella 2Ks. I drew a lot of 2Ks. I drew hella Egghead cards too. I'll show you guys that in a second. I did pull the Sanji too, which is crazy. My pre-release packs are kind of stacked. So I drew the Sanji. Like I said, I had hella 2Ks, so I figured like I had to kind of play Egghead because I didn't really have anything else. I mean, look at these, bro. Look at these Eggheads, bro. Look at these Eggheads. This is crazy, bro. I had so many Eggheads, I was like, I just feel like I have to play Rainbow Luffy. And when you're triggering into him, bro, Rainbow Luffy probably is the best leader. When you're not triggering into him, Rainbow Luffy is not very good. So I will say, if you get like, how many is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. So I triggered into some of them when it didn't matter, the eggheads. And then when it did matter, I couldn't trigger into any of them. So I would say if you get like 13 or more eggheads, then you should definitely play Rainbow Luffy. If you don't get 13 or more eggheads, you should not play Rainbow Luffy. So with that being said, guys, let me give you the sauce behind this, all right? For your pre-release, you are looking to... Oh, actually, let me go ahead and turn the camera back on me so you're not looking at cards. All right, guys, some advice on your pre-release is if you have a bunch of going first cards, as in like your curve, you have a bunch of 3/5 vanillas or 5 cost characters or 7 cost characters, then you should absolutely go first. If you don't have those and you have more 4 cost characters, 6 cost characters, then you go second. Super easy, super simple. You need to look for the first scan you do of all your cards. You pick out all the 2Ks, right? You put every single 2K in your deck that you possibly can, right? And everyone's gonna get at least, and this pre-release, because there's so many 2Ks, everyone's gonna get at least like 6. So put in as many 2Ks as you can. Luckily for me, I got 10. So after that, you scan and you look for all of the vanillas, right? You look for your 5/7s, you look for your 3/5s, you look for your 6/8s. You put all of them in there. And then you look for all of the blockers and you put all of them in there. And by this time you have like probably like 25 of like your 40 cards slots full. And then you look at, okay, what like big guys do I have that like don't have counter, but they have effects, right? And that's when you're starting to look for things like your Rob Lucci, right? You're looking for your stuff like your Monkey D. Luffy, for example. And then you start putting as many of those in there as possible. And then you look for some supporting cards to make those cards good if you see them, right? So you're looking, so like, for example, you know, if you have enough eggheads, you're looking for like the stage that like restands an egghead, right? That would have actually been a really good card to have, bro. If I would have gotten that, if I would have played that stage that restands an egghead at the end of the turn, then maybe I would have actually been able to do something. But, yeah, so that is that right there. And I think the number one thing, guys, is I think Bonney is just overall better, but make sure that you take a lot of life early on. Not a lot, right? Make sure you take at least 2 life early on, because once those characters start turning sideways, unless you're playing against a Captain Kid, they are swinging into your characters the entire rest of the game. And a lot of times what you'll do is you'll burn out all of your resources on on characters that like 4/5s or like 5/6s, and then you'll run out of gas, and like your whole board just gets cracked and you can't keep anything on the board for the rest of the game. So what you want to do is you want to go down to like you want to take your first 2 life like pretty willy-nilly, and then you want to start defending from there, because once you turn your character sideways, you actually have some cards to be able to protect it, just like it is in a normal game. But this so even more importantly, because there's not a lot of removal in this game, there's not a lot of like crazy shit in this game, so it's literally just battling for board control. So if you wait to turn your character sideways, and then sometimes if you're just developing a board and like you want them to attack into your life, even if you have a couple characters on the board like a 4/5 and then a 5/6, just don't turn them, don't attack, let them attack into you, because at least when they're attacking into you, you're getting the resources, and then once you get those resources, you can turn them sideways again. And then obviously if they're attacking into you, then you can attack into their characters and then clear their board and then take control of the game from there. Especially if you're playing Bonney, they have 1 less attack every turn, and if you're clearing their board, it's like, or like pretty much clearing their board, like leaving them with 1 character left. And that's what you should do with Bonney, by the way, is once they have 1 character or less, you just attack into their face, because one of their characters or leader is going to get rested, and then you're just going to win the game from there. So that is it, guys. That is your pre-release. Good luck. May the odds be ever in your favor, and peace.